And coming to second chapter, what is a non-co-channel interference? Explain various types of non-co-channel interference. We all can understand that this co-channel interference question is mostly been repeated in the sets, which is for 7 marks. And again a problem is given. Determine the minimum cluster size for a cellular system designed with an acceptable value of C by I equal to 18 decibels. Assume the path loss exponent as 4 and co-channel interference at the mobile unit from 6 equidistant cells in the first type. So this is a huge problem. Again we need to solve it for 7 marks. And coming to the third chapter, what are the various channel assignment strategies with respect to the mobile units? Explain in detail and explain the point-to-point path loss prediction model and describe the factors that affect the accuracy of prediction, which is for 7 marks again. And coming to the fourth chapter, what are the different types of antennas used for mobile unit, and explain any one with a knee diagram. Different types of antennas which we learned from first semester. So write short notes about mobile high gain antennas and cellular systems, which is again 7 marks. So the next question from 5th chapter is what are the various handoff initiation techniques, which is also repeated, we have observed, and what is the inter-system handoff? Explain with necessary diagram. As I explained in my previous videos, this handoff concept is mostly important concept which has been touched always. And again from 6th chapter, what are the various subsystems in GSM architecture? Explain the network switching subsystem and describe the basic principle and advantages of OFDMA. So this is for set 3. And coming to set 4, the 2 marks questions asked here is list the main features of 3G cellular systems for 2 marks, and what are the types of interferences in cellular system, again for 2 marks. And from 3rd chapter, describe the concept of overlaid cell for 3 marks and write the features of umbrella pattern antennas. We've recently seen in this set 3 of this question for 2 marks, and list out the different vehicle locating methods for 2 marks and compare the basic technological differences between GSM and CDMA for 3 marks. And coming to the essay questions from the first chapter, again a problem is given in the 2B part. And the first question is explain the principle of cell splitting and cell sectoring in cellular systems for 7 marks, and draw the frequency reuse pattern for a cluster size of n equal to 3 and n equal to 7, again for 7 marks. And coming to the second chapter, derive the expression for C by I ratio for the worst case scenario in an omnidirectional antenna system for 7 marks. And again a huge problem is given of a signal to interference ratio of a 15 decibels is required for a satisfactory forward channel performance of a cellular system. What is the frequency reuse factor and cluster size that should be used for maximum capacity of the path loss exponent? Is given 2 options here, when n is equal to 4 and n equal to 3. Now the question is assume that there are 6 co-channel cells in the first tier and all of them are at same distance from the mobile using suitable approximations. This is a huge problem again for 7 marks, and we have clearly understood here that there are problems in the first and second chapter. And coming to the third chapter, what is the importance of frequency management chart? Explain and derive the expression for the path difference between direct and reflected paths in a mobile environment. And coming to the fourth chapter, explain the different types of antennas used for coverage and interference reduction in cellular systems for 7 marks. And the next question is write short notes about roof mounted antennas in cellular systems. So this is covered when we learned about types of antennas for 7 marks. And the fifth chapter questions are explain the differences between handoff initiation in analog and digital cellular systems, and how dropwood cell rate is defined using general formula. Explain, both of 7 marks each. And last but not the least, from the 6th chapter, explain the GSM architecture with a neat sketch and compare and contrast the various multiple access schemes for 7 marks. So I'd like to conclude that there are chances for having 2 problematic questions in each set as we observed. So if we learn all the 6 chapters, then there will be a scope that we may remove the 2 questions as choice, and we can answer all those other 4 chapters. As we said before, we can leave them as a choice. And moreover, repetition of questions is very lightly seen, but when we prepare all the 6 chapters, there is a scope for us to leave the problems and answer all the theoretic type questions, or someone who is comfortable with problems that they may answer them having two chances. So these are all the 4 sets regarding cellular and mobile systems, cellular and mobile communications of September 2020 batch, and the supply questions are not yet released. So thank you. I'll be back with the next video of discussing previous question papers of another subject. Thank you.